Okay, so we're here in Paul's radio car.
Well, it's also an astronomy car.
Oh, okay.
It's a 1982 Subaru. Up here in front, we got a PRC 319. This is usually on my back. It's a 50-watt radio that's now on 20 meters. You can hear a little static there in the background, but it's listening to 14,342.5. Below that we have a 75-watt Kenwood 2570. That's a 2-meter FM radio. We can get back to base on. And we're just up here heading for the observatory at 8,500 feet. Up on the top we have a 14 AVQ 40-meter vertical, not in use. It's just being repaired from a recent lightning strike. Just barely made it into third gear there, but
I like your transmission boot down there. It's
there's a little bit of
duct tape,
carbon monoxide getting in there, but it isn't bad if you keep the windows open. We're going to climb from 6,000 up to 8,500 feet, and today we have APRS with WG0AT-9 on the air, and people can follow along on the APRS. It's way cool. Going from here up to El Magre and then out to Denver. So it's going to be a great night. We're going to do some visual observing at the observatory, and it's going to be like 50 degrees. It's going to be awesomely warm. Normally it's about 10 up there.
So what vintage is this vehicle that we're driving?
This is an 82 Subaru that I bought in 1982 used, and it's just been going forever. It won't stop.
And I especially like the mount here for your PRC.
The 319 is hooked to some tent stakes that are just jammed into the dashboard. A little duct tape kind of keeps it in so it won't fall out. But it's real sturdy, and it's soft mounting, so it bounces around. The radio's good for dropping out of airplanes and dunking and submersing under 6 feet of water, so it's a pretty good rugged radio. It won't be affected by the mobile operation at all. It's a great radio, but there's no noise suppression in it. They never put any noise suppression, so it has no noise blanker, not even a couple of diodes. So what I had to do was shield the entire ignition system in order to be able to hear anybody. But it runs 50 watts to a little mobile whip in the back, antenna tuners in the back, ready for the good days that are coming. Right now there's just no sunspots and there's nobody to talk to, but one of these days we're going to have an opening and it's going to be the good old days. I was on in the really hot days in 56, 57, 60, that big sunspot sequence we had in solar cycle 32, and it was just awesome. One of these days we'll have another one if we live long enough.
So this is Paul's little Subaru with all the antennas on top of it.
Too many antennas, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, back here I usually carry a couple other antennas for different bands, and this has got the PRC 319 automatic antenna tuner in the trunk.
Okay.
So it tunes a whip or a coil antenna, remote antenna tuner.
Now, this, of course, is his pristine.
That's the Backpack 319. Has a built-in keyer speaker. The whole operation here is perfect for backpacking.
Is there an antenna, right?
No antenna.
Oh, okay.
No antenna. But that's run off of 14 lithium-ion batteries and gives you any frequency you want up to a whip.
Cool.
Ready to go. You want to try it? We'll put it on your back. Now we're going to go over to the observatory.
So this is Paul's. What was the name of this place?
The Las Brisas Observatory, which means the winds, because it's always windy here. In Spanish, it means the wind. It's about 15 feet high, 10, 11, 12 feet in diameter.
So you built this from the ground up?
I didn't build it. I found it abandoned, and I got it from the guy who built it. And put my telescope in it.
Incredible.
It's got a little
Boy, it's dark in here.
tarp over it, kind of for added rain protection. There's no windows, that's why
Yeah.
it's so dark.
I guess that's a good thing.
But there is one big window. The shutters are pretty heavy, but they're rolling on little roller bearings. So they just
Wow.
like that.
And there was light.
And I'm going to go up on top and see if there's any hail damage
Okay.
that might need a little painting. It looks really pretty good up here. We had some hail about a week ago. It needs a little painting, but there's not a lot. And there's the golf balls.
So that's how it rotates.
Just like that.
Sure enough.
And those golf balls all get square when it's really, really cold.
Oh,
They're square. So it's really hard to get them started. And after a while, they start becoming round again. The telescope lives here on this 8-ton piece of concrete. Goes down in the ground, so it's real stable. And it is always sitting right there. It's a Celestron C14 8-inch Schmidt camera, 8-inch Schmidt camera up here on top, and the 14-inch telescope down here on the bottom. The telescope and the motors track the stars, and they carry the camera that's on the top. So I use this camera to take pictures of comets and such. It's a wide field camera, has no eyepiece. It just sits up there to take pictures.
so I assume it's aligned with your scope?
Yeah, directly aligned.
Okay.
And then the real eyepiece is right down here at ground level. Very convenient. So I can sit on a chair and guide the telescope. I use a guide star with the motor control, so I can do slow motion and do fine controls of the motor, and the motor up in here will track the stars and keep them all steady for the cameras
Wow.
and keep them all aligned. So I'll sit here for 30 minutes or an hour guiding because the film is so slow, and that's all I use is film. And then I close up the film and take an underexposure.